Good morning, Vietnam.
We are live.
Yep.
Wow.
Pull George back here a bit.
George the animal. How long have you had George the animal still?
How long?
Yeah.
30 years.
30 years. Still a living icon, legend. We got Jimmy the Melt of the
he's
South.
not alive. He died.
Well, you know what I mean. A legend, not a living legend. I apologize for the incorrect nature of the deceased.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fitness Marketing Hub live stream of the week. Today's show is about absolutely nothing. This is going to be your time, guys. If you guys have questions or concerns about your channels or questions about YouTube, fire them at us. In the meantime, Joe and I will banter amongst ourselves while we wait for questions to come in, because I have absolutely nothing to talk about today. Although, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm Joe Arko.
They know who you are by now.
Hi, but if they're new to the channel, little hello. I'm Joe. Glad to be here.
Morning, KJ.
We got some people.
Good morning,
here.
Krista. Some people popping in.
I have to say, the amount of times we've worked together over, 10 years we've known each other or so, and we've had no script, has been the best times.
Yeah, we shall see. That remains to be seen.
It worked for the trap bar deadlift.
It's funny. It's been 8 years, but it does seem like even longer. I think 2013 was the first shoot.
I believe so. Yeah. But hopefully, if you guys have some questions, big or small, there's no stupid questions. What are the topics we want to field today? So we're not taking any kind of questions. Let's narrow these down. If you're frustrated with insert the blank, ask us some questions. So what are some of the frustrations you guys might be having? Let's predict some of those.
Predict them?
Well, let's give them some ideas of questions to start firing off in terms of what they're struggling with, what they're dealing with, that we could talk about today.
The questions that we tend to get is good morning, Lex. I don't get enough views. I don't get enough subscribers, things like that, which are obviously issues to be addressed. I don't actually concern myself with that too much. And usually when I talk to you guys privately, I say the same thing. It's a vanity metric. It doesn't actually matter to your success when you really look into things. But that tends to be the stuff that comes up a lot. They can't surface on YouTube and then they don't get noticed.
So let's talk about this for a second, because listening to you say that kind of sparks some ideas. Mm-hmm. If you're focusing on the wrong target or the wrong, let's say you turn on your GPS and you put in the wrong coordinates and you're driving hard and you're rushing through traffic and you're trying to get there, but the destination's wrong. That's the major problem. Yeah. So if the question itself is so what you're saying is it's not really about getting more views necessarily.
No.
So that's not the metrics people should be concerning themselves about. But why are people so concerned about those metrics?
Because that's what they've been conditioned to care about.
And
it's social media.
Now, if we can take our view off of that for a while, what would you say are the top 1, 2, or 3 things to be focusing on instead of that?
A game plan.
Game plan.
Yeah.
Let's narrow that down. So a football game plan, a hockey game plan. Let's give them a simple game plan to get started with.
I think it's different with every single person. Good morning, Sharon. It's different with every person. It depends what they're here for. What we tend to focus on with this channel is the business aspect of it. I look at this as a business. I do enjoy it. I do have a passion for it. But if I stop making money at it, I'll probably stop doing it. So if you guys are in this just for the passion of fitness, a lot of what I say is completely irrelevant. If you're looking to potentially make this a side business, a full-time business, anything like that, then it requires probably backing up what you've been doing by 6 months to a year and then starting from scratch. I'm not saying get rid of content you've got, but literally coming up with that game plan, because I think everybody, for the most part, I'm not saying a lot of the people that are even here right now, they've heard me go on long enough that they kind of know my mindset with this stuff. But if you jump onto YouTube and your idea is I'll just keep flooding YouTube with videos, whether they're good or bad, and then the algorithm will eventually see me and then it'll show me to people and then they'll subscribe. And if they don't subscribe, I'll buy 1,000 subscribers or I'll borrow 1,000 subscribers from somebody, or I'll like them and they'll like me, or whatever that is. And then that will make people like me. And it's like, no, there's TV shows that my friends think are awesome that I think are stupid. And so if I see a channel that I don't like, but it's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, it doesn't mean I'm going to subscribe. Maybe some people do get triggered by that. You guys can let us know. But I personally don't. And with that, I completely lost my train of thought.
That's what I'm here for. So let's talk about game plans, folks. So the game plan to me, and this is where I'm coming at this from a very different perspective. Mm-hmm. I look at you as being more of the expert in the field, and I look at myself as being the old guy, brick and mortar, who's just like finally going, holy shit, I need to get on YouTube. Yeah. Much like you guys, I've had a lot of stuff in the online space, but differently, the digital space. You did my first DVDs. Yep. Like you create. I mean, I had DVDs for my certification courses that we were selling.
Still got copies over there somewhere.
If you're interested, let me know. Those things are like these. They're almost collector items now. But I went in it with the wrong game plan. And maybe you guys, like I have 240 exercises for the Assess, Correct, Train stuff. Mm-hmm. I just threw them on there.
Yeah.
They have 24 views.
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually take your advice and go, okay, what's the game plan? Who's my target audience? I don't have proper descriptions. I don't have proper banners on nothing is inviting about it. So it wasn't just about throwing on a ton of content. I didn't have a game plan.
Right.
And really, like a lot of people, not a lot, me and some people like me, kind of think throw a whole bunch of stuff on there. It's going to get found and get a whole bunch of views and start getting paid. But that's really not the case.
No.
And I think the game plan part for me was how do I integrate YouTube to the larger thing called my business, as opposed to using YouTube as my business. Right. A lot of people are going, I'm going to get 1 million views and get paid by YouTube, as opposed to YouTube is like commercial space and your TV space, right? And you're using it to get funding and to be able to push people to other things to get more revenue. And there's lots of ways to get revenue, but most don't have a good enough game plan to get that traffic, convert that traffic, and direct that traffic.
And that's one of the things is a bit of a sidebar that I tell people, like even when I spoke with somebody who owns a brand this week, and their mindset is when they do things on YouTube is it's got to be about their brand.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's got to be about, like, you could do a YouTube channel, but anything, if it attracts an audience, you literally advertise your brand on your channel. It can be about anything. So if you're
how to play the spoons.
What's that?
How to play the spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that draws an audience is beneficial if your end goal is you have a branded product. Now, typically, if you're, I don't know, if you're doing a channel that's completely irrelevant to your brand, I think it's got to be in the same stratosphere. But if it's completely irrelevant, then you're going to attract an audience that may not be into your products. But that's not to say that every single piece of content you do is about a particular product.
We got some questions coming in here.
Good morning, Val. And I got a question from KJ.
KJ.
Question: is it normal to have low viewer retention in the beginning as a growing channel? Is it because we still haven't found our target audience, or is it because the workout quality is bad? Your average view duration, KJ, when your channel is not as big, should be higher. Because what tends to happen when you get lots and lots of views, typically your view duration will go down because some of those views are going to be people that are just kind of fly-by-nighters that aren't interested because you're, again, surfacing to more people. But at the level you're at now, I would pay attention to this. It could be a bit of both. It's definitely partially due to not finding your target audience, but again, you can look at your YouTube search, what people are searching that is finding, like, that is making them discover you.
Keywords.
What's that?
The keywords.
No, like in your analytics, you can go to you see what your top what's bringing people to your channel.
Gotcha.
Like on my channel, for example, 55% of my traffic, I think it's 55, is YouTube search, which is really it's the number one thing. Most of my traffic is from YouTube search, which is what we all want because that's new people. If YouTube search is your top metric, like it's the one that's bringing the highest percentage of people to your channel, then if they're checking out your content and leaving, they don't like the content for whatever reason. If your current subscribers are the ones that are, say, the number one metric as far as the highest percentage of people that are watching your videos and they're not watching it, then your subscribers are definitely not a community. They're like, again, this could be the family and friends thing when you have people that are kind of supporting your channel, but they're not actually doing the workouts. And this is what it comes down. The great thing about fitness is that you'll know when you've got an engaged community because they're doing the entire workout. So that's what you want. If it gets really, really low. So that's the thing. Go into the analytics, find out what your top,
where it's coming from. So whether it's YouTube search, current subscribers, where else could it come from?
There's
so YouTube,
there's
current subscribers.
There's external stuff. Like there's so many things that can bring down watch time.
Okay.
I tell people all the time, if you share that you have a new video on Instagram, for example, Instagram is completely like a smartphone Android thing. If they click through and watch your video, they could be in the car, they could be driving on the subway, they could be doing a number of things. But what we know in that moment that you post that, they're not about to do a workout video. So no matter what that person does, they're not going to click and watch your video for 15, 20 minutes. They're going to watch it for 10 seconds and turn it off. That's why I've spoken constantly about sharing on other social media platforms. I'm not really big on it. Same thing applies really with Facebook. Like that's why it's so important that we put them, don't put the majority of your time into getting more views. Again, so like you guys tell me right now, and you can mark it in the comments, when you post a video, do you immediately share it with Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that? Because you literally are shooting yourself in the foot, in my opinion. Now somebody else may say completely opposite, but I will fight with them all day long with this.
Like these guys right here. So I want to be the recap. I'm taking like so many notes because this is golden. So KJ, I want to dive in to make sure you're really comfortable with this. I got all these videos out, but my viewer retention is not very good. Mm-hmm. I know there's a problem. Like anything in life, the more you ask questions, the more you assess, the more you can get to the root of the problem. First thing you're suggesting right now is take a look at the analytics.
Yep.
So you have all these videos out there. Look at the analytics, and what you're looking for is, if most of these are coming from your YouTube search, then you're not niche down enough, because they're basically like, that's what you want. You want most of them coming from YouTube searches. Yep. But if they're coming from there and they're not staying, then obviously there's something wrong with your niche, that you're not carrying them to well. Right. If a lot of them are coming from your current subscribers, then you don't really have a community, because if your current subscribers aren't staying long enough, you're not speaking to them. They should want to stay long. They should be retained a lot.
That to me is a full on, like when I see that, when I'm dealing with clients, that tells me they have a big support group of family and friends. Like again, I mean, if people use their Facebook to connect with family and friends and some colleagues and stuff like that, that's fantastic. If they support you in your endeavors on YouTube, that's fantastic. But if they're not people that are actually doing your workouts, that's not so fantastic, because it's not actually helping you. It's appreciative that they're supporting you. You're getting that extra like or that extra view, but growing the channel is not really helping.
Now, you talked about before community content, and what was the other one? Like the one
discovery content.
Discovery. Yeah. So this is where obviously the YouTube search, if that's very high, that's discovery content driven. Right. Yep. Your community stuff is going to be your current subscriber story, or you're looking at the analytics of your community content. Right. Okay. So even looking at your analytics, you're almost dividing that into two. So you're looking at the analytics from the discovery content and then the community content. Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, guys, is that one thing I'll give YouTube a lot of credit for is that they've taken all the guesswork out of this. If you have a problem with your channel, you can find it in your analytics. If you don't know how to read your analytics, it's costing you growth on your channel, and you need to figure that out. Like, that's one of the reasons why, with what I do, I have the consultation calls, the membership program, things like that, to try and help you guys understand that stuff. A great something that I just happened just this week. Kirsten Quickfit. I work a lot with Kirsten, and one thing we've talked about for weeks and weeks, and I'm not sure Kirsten's here today, but we've talked about her thumbnails. I run support to her on her thumbnails, but a lot of the photographs she was sending to me were very, very small. So by the time I stretch them into the thumbnail, they're blurry. And this is your front line of your video.
So the CD cover.
Yeah. So she went out, she booked a photo shoot, just like an affordable photo shoot with somebody she knew, and got a bunch of new photographs. So now her last 2 or 3 thumbnails have been very high resolution, much higher quality photographs, and her click-through rates are much higher. And it's immediate. And that shows, that basically proved my point that the poorer quality thumbnails were attracting less people and they weren't clicking through as much. So again, problem solved. Like it just shows that, okay, this matters. And so I know that with Kirsten, that she won't let this happen again. She will make sure that before she runs out of her new photos, she'll have more photos there somewhere.
Let me ask you this question. Regan, I'm not getting the views that I want. Go in order of like, make sure, do you have a proper thumbnail, a proper description, and is the video decent? Like, what are the top three or four things for the retention to make sure that someone's clicking and staying a little bit longer?
I mean, right off the bat, your thumbnail and title are important because that's what they see first. There's got to be something compelling there. If it's not working, change it. I realized recently that I haven't posted as much on my workout channel as I would have liked in 2021. But I noticed that it's been probably about 8 months since I had a video kind of go viral. My videos all do pretty well. But you always get that 1 out of 5 or 6 that shoots up, and all of a sudden, you know, the difference between 5,000-6,000 views and 30,000 or 40,000 views in the first few months. And it just dawned on me. And I'm like, I wonder if it's just everything's kind of down, and things are down on YouTube. Things were quiet. It's picking up again now, but it was down for a few months. So I thought about that, but then I'm like, I wonder if there's anything else. I went through and realized when I started looking back that since I changed my thumbnails to what I thought was a better thumbnail, my click-through rates went down. So my original thumbnails performed better than my old ones. So now it's like I have to start experimenting with thumbnails again. So that stuff matters. And that's the thing, is you have to constantly be watching your analytics and looking for problems like that. So yeah, so title and thumbnail are imperative because they're not seeing you on your channel. Your already established subscribers are seeing you on your channel perhaps, or they're seeing you in recommended videos. People that are finding you on YouTube search, they're seeing you along with 10, 20 other videos of the same subject matter. So your thumbnail has to be better than everyone else's. So they click through on that. You need to follow through with a good workout. If, you know, and that's where you have to be cautious. Like if you post a thumbnail and you're in a bikini at the beach posing to that and they click through on it and it's you in your living room, that may let them down. I don't know. And they could back out. I don't think it's you can experiment with that, but again, it's one of those things you have to be cautious of. You know, I've seen people that do it and have great success with it because the workouts are also very good. But if the workout is a complete letdown, then you're going to get the shorter retention. Let's
talk numbers here. So what is a good and bad retention rate?
I guess that was Chris's question too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not really a question I can answer, because if you do shorts, that's going to bring down your average view duration, because you may have 30-minute workouts on there, but then you've got 1 minute shorts. So your average, you know, if you have 2 views, one of them is 30 minutes, one of them is 1, you're going to come in at 16 or 15. So that's not really something I can answer. What you need to look for is patterns. It's not really like what's good, what's bad, it's patterns. If you see, again, I had a client months ago who, very good trainer, but spoke a lot at the beginning of workouts. And when I went through the different workouts, I realized that the workout didn't start until about 3.5 minutes into the video. People were abandoning, like 90% of the people that clicked on the video were abandoning it by about the 22-second mark. So my immediate thought is that they don't have the patience for this and they're leaving. So when you see that, it's like, okay, doesn't mean that I'm right, but it means next time you do a video, I want you to have the video moving 30 seconds in. By 30 seconds in, say what you've said, and then basically like, let's get started. And then you start working your way into that. Then you can compare the two. And then if this one has a longer view duration, then it makes you realize that, okay, this was a problem. If they're both the same, it's like, okay, maybe the problem is me. Like that's how it's just basically you go through and you figure out what is and isn't, like, is or isn't the problem. Like you remove things out until you zone in on what the problem is.
having a successful YouTube channel is much like having a very successful training program.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can't just throw it out there and expect it to work. Like, you're literally constantly evaluating what's working, what's not working,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what works for the individual, what doesn't. You can't just cookie cutter assume everything's going to work for everyone.
Right.
Is you're looking at the analytics, you're constantly assessing, and you're constantly curious as to how you can make it better. And I think the people that are constantly willing to change, make it better, update it, they're like the people who look at the workouts going, how do I get like 1% better on this? Like, how can I adjust this, this bicep exercise to get more contraction or whatever else? They're curious about making it better. I find those are the people that are constantly evolving the page. Not like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Well, look at it more, look at it deeper, and be curious as to what can I change to attract the person that I want to attract more effectively.
Yep. But again, it requires getting out of that views and likes metric. Like if you post 4 workouts a week and they usually get 50 views in the first 3 days, but then one of them gets 70 views in the first 3 days, a lot of people will be content with that because it's more views. But the fact is that's still not good.
Right.
And so it's like you have to get at it and say, well, let's make sure these are working. What's happening? Just because it got 70 views, maybe it just had to be something in the name that made it surface a little bit higher to more people. And that's just you can check that by just looking at your impressions. If you got more impressions on the video, then basically, yeah, it's going to have a few more views. But if they're still abandoning it at the 20-second mark, you're not ahead of the game. It doesn't matter how many more views. If they're still abandoning it, that's still a problem. And that's when we get into the analytics and we look at things in more details.
What are the questions we got here today?
What am I missing?
It's a bad.
No, I got those. Vow, Elaine, Body of Paradise. So I just shared a thumbnail, not the link to the video. So all they're seeing is a picture.
I think this is referring to maybe the social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the better way to do it, Elaine, because that way, if somebody is interested enough, they'll go find you, and they're going to find you. They're making it a destination, hopefully to do the workout. And again, you having come from teaching classes, the people that are paying attention to those thumbnails are probably people that are more apt to do your workouts. So I think that is a better way to do it. At least that way you're letting them know it's there, but you're not. You're not putting it out there and then having those drive-by people. And like I have a group on Facebook for my fitness channel, and I will share videos there. Because my feeling is that group will eventually because it's only got 200 or 300 people. They're all subscribers to the channel. I don't typically share those videos on my personal Facebook because while I might get 50 or 100 extra views out of it, they're not doing the workouts because it's a collection of family members and friends and like people that I know in other walks of life that has nothing to do with fitness. So yes, I could get an extra 50 or 60 views in my first few hours, but it's not actually helping my video. Because it brings down that average view duration, which again triggers the algorithm. The algorithm does not surface the video. Your impressions go down, so your views go down. So
overall, the thumbnail approach would be a better. If you want to kind of like let people know on social, the thumbnail approach is more acceptable approach.
I think a separate group is a good approach. Like again, even today, guys, with the private group that I've got for Fitness Marketing Hub. I turn people away from that group all the time. Number one, because I've had people that have joined and started spamming the group. And so I ask questions now. When you join the private group now, I ask for what's your YouTube channel? And if somebody doesn't answer that, I'm not letting them in. Yes, I'd like to have 500 people following my group so it looks good and maybe they'll get extra likes on stuff I'm doing and maybe they'll trickle into a live stream. But these people are obviously not interested in what I'm doing. They've got some kind of crap fitness product that they want to try and peddle on you guys, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. There'll be some that slip through, but I'll not let people in. So I think having a private group for your channel, that especially when you're under 1,000 subscribers, because you don't have the community tab, it's harder to talk to people and keep the conversation going. So have that group for your diehard people. It's another way to reach out to them, to communicate with them, to let them know, because some people are on Facebook a lot more than YouTube. So you can let them know, hey, new videos out. If you guys get a chance to try it this week, let me know, like that sort of thing. That's important, as opposed to getting random people from your everyday life that are looking at that stuff. So it's hard sometimes to do that because you want to get those extra views. But again, it's what's that saying? Shoot yourself in the foot to spite your face. I don't know, but it's basically you're getting a few extra views from friends and family, but you're losing views from prospective clients on YouTube because they're not finding your videos, because they're not surfacing, because the watch time is down.
Got it. What do we got next?
Sharon, I just changed to showing the thumbnail and say go to my YouTube channel. Yep.
Much depth.
Yeah, it's good, Sharon. Wahiba Fit. I just started for a month now. I'm posting every day and sharing it on Instagram, but I'm not getting subscribers. What do I have to do? Is this normal? I just have to continue posting and sharing it. Without seeing your channel, I can't, it's hard for me to say what the problem is. But I will say that looking for your Instagram followers to elevate your YouTube channel is like, I've used the analogy before. If you're at like a hard heavy metal bar and you go over to the country bar to try and get people to go to the heavy metal bar, they're not interested in that music. It's a different platform. So that's not like, you have to look at your channel title. Like Wahiba Fit sounds kind of cool. Your logo looks kind of cool. However, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what genre of anything that is. If you're just starting out, you want them, like if that was like Wahiba Fit Power Yoga, it's like, okay, what's Power Yoga? Maybe I click through and see it, but there's nothing as far as the descriptive goes. If they do see that and they click through in your channel, you want to make sure your banner is strong. You want to make sure your channel tags are all in place, and your title should be a searchable term. You can always rebrand yourself later. You can always brand yourself in your banner for your channel, but your title of your channel should be something that's a searchable term. I've said before, the original name of Fitness Marketing Hub was Regan Rogerson, and it did not work. Fitness Marketing Hub usually tells people when they come across it that if somebody has a YouTube channel that's not functioning very well,
12-minute full body workouts.
Okay. If somebody has a YouTube channel that's not functioning very well and they happen to come across Fitness Marketing Hub, they're probably slightly intrigued to click through just to see if it's something that might help them. Whereas Regan Rogerson tells them nothing. But
the page has a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Full body HIIT workouts, 12-minute HIIT workouts, 3-minute effective warm-ups for full body workouts, 12-minute full body HIIT fat burning workouts for women, overweight beginner, low impact home workouts, no equipment, leg and glutes. So it looks pretty targeted.
Yep.
Women, not a lot of equipment, not a huge amount of time. So under the 15-minute, 10 to 15-minute mark.
Yep.
Now in terms of videos here, there's only 15 videos.
But from March 2021,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So it gives you a little bit more context to work with here.
Yeah, I mean, everything looks nice and clean. I'd have to go and actually look at a video on your channel. How's the production quality? How's the audio quality? Things like that. Go into your actual analytics and see, are you showing up in search results? Or things like that. So you can do a deeper dive into stuff like that. Like I said, any of you guys that have these issues ongoing, I always recommend checking out Buy Me a Coffee. That it's up there. There are some tools there that can help you. I've had people that have got a lot of success out of the consultations and things like that, just because it basically gives you a little bit of context as to what the problem could be. And oftentimes it's something you don't even realize. Like you can have nice videos, you can have nice thumbnails, all of these things, but it's just a matter of things in the analytics that could be causing you, not hurting you, but causing you to have a lack of growth.
Can I add a little, perhaps some advice, and tell me if I'm way off?
Sure.
If I go on that page, so if you know that your avatar right now is probably maybe stay-at-home moms or people who don't want to go to gyms, they want to work out at home, very limited equipment. This would be like, as soon as I go on here, if I was that woman, I'm already kind of confused. I don't know where to go. And if you don't want to jump around, put day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And then I can follow along. So get to know what the problem is. Say, hey, if you want to get back in shape and you're very new, check out day 1, day 2, day 3, and actually organize your workouts into a flow. Now, each of those workouts, you can have something on your website. Like, hey, if you want the full 30 days and we run you through it, here's a great way of getting an opt-in now to get people onto the mountain. If it's just like one day for abs, then this, then 12 minutes this, I don't know where to start and what to do. They might be great, but then you're not solving the problem of the avatar going, I don't know what to do day by day. So then every day they're looking for a different problem to solve. They might search for someone else.
Yeah.
If they just come across yours and like, oh my God, for the next 14 days, I don't have to go anywhere else. You're just telling me to do this day one. Like, hey, I know you're tired. Let's just do a 10-minute mobility today. Tomorrow we'll do some strength. And the next day we're going to do this. And you really understand the problem you're solving. They're more inclined to come back. If it's randomized and I got to put it together, then I'm just looking for stuff day by day.
That's why the 30-day programs work really well on YouTube. Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, he would fit again. Oh, MKG. Hi, Regan. Does YouTube short videos have to do anything in terms of growing channels since it reaches to a larger audience? Let me preface by saying my opinion on this is my opinion on this. Yes, YouTube Shorts are getting some extra attention on YouTube from the actual algorithm and stuff. This is their way of competing with like Snapchat and TikTok and whatnot. So they're really promoting this. They've set aside funds to pay creators for creating shorts. So and they're surfacing more in some cases. There have been people who follow this live stream who, are getting 70, 80 views on a workout, and then they're getting 6,000 on a short. So there's something there, and it can get you some traffic, and in turn that could spill over into some new subscribers. So that being said, yes, there is a benefit to that. What I don't like about it, and I tried a couple of shorts, I personally didn't see much success with it. But what I didn't like and what made me delete them all is it completely threw off the presentation that I'm trying to make. So it was a bit of a hot shot technique. I wanted to try it just to see what it does do and if it works. But the way I look at it, I get 25 or 30 new subscribers every day. And I'm happy with that. I do hope that it continues to grow. But to try and hot shot with things like shorts, I think it's worth trying out. Just make sure that your main channel is organized and you have a separate playlist for them so they're not popping up in amongst workouts.
He's got one playlist right there for shorts.
Yep, yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So that's good. But don't look at that as a metric for growth. Because again, we're looking at this as how to create a channel that you can grow and develop into an actual fitness business. And shorts is not going to do that. It may hot shot you some new subscribers. Some of those subscribers could end up being long-term subscribers, but typically they're not. So that's kind of just from my experience with it and my personal opinion on it. But I would never tell somebody not to do it, particularly if you're just starting out. Just make sure that the content is quality and not just throwaway stuff, and keep it within the context of your channel. If your channel's about fitness, don't do a short about funny dog tricks or something, because then you're really making me mad. So
okay, that we've already covered.
This is a follow-up. Yeah,
follow-up.
She started for a month now. I'm posting every day, and that's the same one.
Yeah, same one. Oh no, a little different to the question here.
Is it different or is it the same question? Getting subscribers. What do I have to do? Not getting subscribers and no full video views. What do I have to do? Is that normal? As I said, it's really hard for me to say just on the surface. Like I took a quick look just through Joe's phone.
I guess the question is going to go back to the analytics. What are the analytics saying?
Right.
When are they stopping? Look at
yeah. Like it can be little things. Like if you're not properly mic'd in your videos and you're talking in your videos, that can be a huge turnoff for people. It's just that comes down to production quality. And while I don't recommend people do super expensive mics and cameras and all that kind of stuff. Like any business, there is the potential that at some point, certain points in time, you will have to make small investments. There are Rode wireless microphone, like audio recorders you can wear if you're talking, and then you can synchronize that with your video later. And then suddenly you've got great audio. If you don't talk in your video and you use music, but your music is super loud, that could turn people. Like it takes nothing to turn people off in this day and age. So it's just really, it comes down to attention to detail. And that's why I've said before, like I like the quality of the videos that I produce, but I built my channel on less than a video a week on average. So less than one video per week. And that's got me to a level where my channel's making money between Google sponsorships, Amazon, like all of that stuff. And yeah, it's less than a video a week. So, and it's growing by 25, 30 subscribers every day. So it doesn't come down to, it doesn't always have to be 3-4 workouts and that sort of thing. So really focus on the quality. And again, your quality could be tremendous. I haven't seen your workouts, but if you have a lot of trouble with it, I would suggest considering a consultation where we can actually look at your stuff in depth and we can put together a proper assessment with recommendations, and then that'll get you rolling from there. But like I said, fire off. If you have other questions about it, just let me know. And while we're going through questions here, guys, everyone who's listening right now that has a fitness YouTube channel, in less than 2 sentences, I want you to describe what your channel is. This is the floor 1 to floor 3 elevator pitch. I want to know what your channel's about. And I have a reason for this. Got that. Okay, Sharon. Question. A lot of people, I've noticed, I have subscribed to a channel and am active on their channel, and then I am unsubscribed. I also notice I go up in subs 2 or 3, then it goes down and up. Yeah, I've heard of that, Sharon, like people somehow getting unsubscribed from channels they subscribe to. I think that's just a glitch. I don't know why that happens. And that's why it's always, you'll see certain channels sometimes that will recommend that you double check to make sure they're still subscribed and still hit the notifications and all that. I don't know why that happens.
Glitch in the matrix, buddy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just a glitch in the matrix.
Pretty much. It's not, I mean, and sometimes too, what happens, and you'll see every once in a while, you'll get spam comments on your videos, like especially as soon as you post them, you will get spam subscribers every now and then. And then they'll get zapped and they'll be gone. So it just randomly happens. So that's probably what that is. Yeah, as far as the being unsubscribed, I've heard, it's not the first time I've heard of this. I don't know anything about it. There's some weird things that happen on there. I had one day that I came in and lost, I think 30 subscribers in one day, came up and a bunch of views and stuff. And I think everybody did. It was like last June or something, but weird things happen with it sometimes and you can't really explain it.
The internet.
Yeah, pretty much. Taj. Can you give me some tips on how to grow my fitness Instagram account? It is Coach Ruben Ho. I don't know if I should call you Ruben or Taj. I could call you Taj, since that's what is on there. I've never gotten Instagram for fitness content. The only thing I can say with Instagram is that it's no longer measured. I mean, okay. First and foremost, it depends what your end game is. Are you trying to build up a big fitness following to get brand sponsorships? If so, I think that's the wrong plan for starters. But I know that Instagram is measured now in saves. It's not about likes. It's not about views. It's about people saving your content. Some advice I gave to a guy recently, he plays guitar, and he plays guitar on Instagram, and he's trying to get people to watch some of his stuff. And he does like a lot of heavy metal things and that. And I told him moving forward when he does that, because he's not like an editor, he's not a tech guy, but start putting the actual chords on the screen, like just the G, D, whatever the chord is. Because now all of a sudden, like you're playing a Metallica song, and anybody that comes across this, what chords they are is right on there. That actually takes it. And he told me, he said people started actually saving because they want to go back and look at it later and try and play it. So little things like that can help. If you're doing like highlights on workouts people can go and do, have the actual content come up on screen. Like if it's 4 sets, 12 reps, burpees, and have a little bit of context come up as well. And it just adds a little bit to it. So somebody who comes across that, I don't suspect they're going to follow you on Instagram in terms of like following your workout live in person there, but they might save it so that they can actually jot it down later, and then they can go to the gym and do it, or go to wherever they train and do it. So a few things like that. Focus more on getting your content saved and not as opposed to viewed. That's about all I can say. I don't do a lot with Instagram. Instagram does not pay well, and that's a big reason why I don't give two turds about Instagram. They're a very greedy company. Facebook's no different. They don't pay creators for their content. And yes, there is potential for brand sponsorships and things like that. But that should be, if you're looking to actually make money off this, I look at those things as, those are the Hail Marys. Just like somebody who wants to build a fitness channel and make a living off Google AdSense, you better hope you get 1 million subscribers.
One thing I recommend you guys do to get better answers from us: don't be so vague with the question. So if you want to grow something, what's the purpose and outcome you're looking for, so we can dive a little bit deeper. So if you want to grow your YouTube channel, also let us know what is the purpose of the channel and the outcome you're looking for. If it's to move people to a website, if it's for one-on-one training, if it's for selling products, if it's for affiliation, that's the key question we're looking for. We can give you way better advice than saying, how do I get more people on my page?
Yeah.
Because my next question is going to be, to do what?
Yeah. Exactly.
So just be very, very, so the more specific you can be with the questions, the more specific and the less vague we can be with the answer. So just always like purpose, outcome, make sure to include that with the questions, and we can get a lot more specific with you guys.
Yep. And that's it. So often we're very one-dimensional with this, where it's like, I create 10 pieces of content a day, nobody's following my channel. Why aren't they following my channel? And it's like, well, again, like if there's no structure to the content, when I worked with an agency, these guys will go out and spend tens of thousands of dollars on a promotional video for a new product. And it could have car crashes and explosions and everything else. But if there's no real call to action and there's no emotional connection to the commercial, then it's a polished turd. And I signed off on plenty of polished turds in my day. So that's the thing. It can be really good and really high quality in that. But if there's no actual game plan in place to funnel traffic in with your goal, to do, like if you're an online trainer, your goal should be getting online clients. As opposed to brand sponsorships or free stuff. I mean, that stuff's all great, but where you're going to make your money is products and services. But yeah, I wish I could offer more. I do get asked about Instagram a lot. It's not something that I would say I'm comfortable to give heavy advice on. But I do know enough that save is the big metric right now. It's not likes and views. So focus on having your content have some context to it that makes someone want to say, I need to save this so I can check it later because I want to pull something from this.
The Aussie Stoners channel. I need to check this one out. I don't know if it's what I think.
More live streams. Yeah, live streams are great, especially for watch time. People like interacting on YouTube. Good to see you live. You should do more. I try and do them once a week. Aussie, like my thing is too. And I almost didn't do one today. I was telling Joe beforehand because I really didn't have a lot to talk about today. In terms of a specific topic. So if I don't have things to talk about, I'm less likely to jump onto a live stream just because I don't want to waste your guys' time.
That's exactly what I thought it was. Aussie Stoners channel. How did you end up on Regan's page is what I want to know.
Fitness guy. KJ Fitness. Is it a good idea to use the information from my analytics and Google Trends to do targeted ads to increase traffic to my channel, or is it a waste of my time and money at this stage? I had a similar question to this a couple of weeks ago too. It depends on, even if right now, let's say you're getting X amount of impressions and you're growing by a certain amount of subscribers a day. Basically, you have to look and see, am I growing right now and the problem is I'm just not surfacing, or am I surfacing but I'm not getting subscribers? Like if your conversion rate from your impressions to people subscribing on your channel seems low, that tells me you're not ready to invest in the ads yet, advertisements. You want to be, YouTube search should be your number one metric for traffic coming to your channel before you advertise. In my opinion, I've got clients right now who invest in every video, and to get more views and what have you. As soon as he stops investing, it just goes right back down. So that tells me there is an inherent issue with the channel that advertising is not helping. It's it's showing his content to more people, but his content's not ready to be shown. So I think it comes out, your workouts are good, KJ. I can't say off the top of my head from what I've seen any particulars that I think are wrong with your stuff. It's really good quality. Like everything's in place there. You could try it. Like if you've got one video now, even an older one that's doing good, if it seems to be kind of doing better than some of the other ones, maybe invest targeted ads in that video and see what happens. Because what you really want to do is you want to see if it creates more subscribers. But if it's a video that doesn't seem to be hitting home with people now, I don't think a targeted ad is going to help. But try it with your more popular stuff and see if it does anything for you. And definitely let me know if you do, because I'd like to watch and see what happens. Wahiba Fit, thank you for your advice. My channel is all about home workout. I have another question. It's about reviews. People don't see the full video, just a few seconds. Yeah, that's kind of what we talked about earlier. That's your average view duration. So if you're surfacing a lot on YouTube, like in search results, depending on how you've niched down your video, like I'll give you a great example. Actually, she may be here in the live stream. She is here in the live stream. So Badass Mama Fitness. I'm gonna put you on the stage here for a second. We were talking last week. I work with Jamie on her channel, and she had really high click-through rates on her videos, and we realized that potentially one of the reasons she has really high impressions, really high click-through rates, average view durations were down on some, but she uses commercial music. So she uses music like Jonas Brothers and some stuff like that. And what was happening is because she was showing up, like, I mean, obviously there's 1,000,001 people that are searching for the new Jonas Brothers track. Her videos were surfacing in those search results. So yes, it's exposing the video to millions of people, which is good, but it's the wrong people. So they're clicking on it. This isn't the video. And then they click back out. So, and that's one of the things that we said that, I don't know that's for sure the problem, but what she's trying now is she's removing the band names from any titles, and we're going to do a comparison next month to see. And the unfortunate part is her impressions and her views will probably go down because of this. But
that's not the metric you're looking for. That doesn't matter.
Right. So so that's basically it. Like if you're not focused in on a particular niche, then you may be getting people that are finding you, clicking on it, but it's not what they were looking for. And again, I more so than my fitness channel, I use Fitness Marketing Hub as a good example with this, because there's lots of channels that do YouTube marketing and growth tactics and strategies and things like that. I could be playing in that field, I guess. Like I do have a background in marketing. I'm doing stuff on YouTube and all of that. However, my expertise is in health and fitness, because more so than those guys, I understand the psychology and the culture of that world, and they don't. So I'm able to give different advice when it comes to that. So rather than me trying to jump into their world and being kind of a lesser version of what these guys are already doing very well, I'm focused on my world. So, and it took 6 months, but I started working with this channel last May of 2020. By December, it literally changed overnight, where suddenly people were finding me a lot more. My stats started going up a lot higher, and it was people that could not believe that this channel existed. And I've said before, it's not that the channel is so perfect or so great, it's that it's exactly what that person needed. So the right people were finding me, which benefited me and it benefited them. And so that's why my average view durations, my views are not crazy high. I've got a couple videos in this channel that have done like really well. A lot of them are just much lower, but my average view durations are very high because the people watching my videos are watching it all. And that's just the benefit of having found the right, YouTube knows who I am and they know who my audience is. So it takes a lot of the work out of it for me. They're presenting me to the right people. And because I can see people that watch my channel, I can see what else they're watching, and they're watching other channels like mine. So that's really what that comes down to. When you're just getting those a few views. It's either people that are clicking through from other social media platforms. It's people that are just not looking for what you're offering, which means that you're not targeted enough. And this happens when we start kind of being the channel for everybody. And 1 week it's this, and 1 week it's that, and you're kind of all over the map with it. You need to have something that's proprietary to you, that's special, that when they find you, it's like, this is what I wanted. And then they stay.
Got a little friend here.
Yeah.
Next question, sir.
Badass Mama Fitness, a polished turd. This is my takeaway today. That's a good word. I got in trouble for using that word in a board meeting once, but it's true. I think I got that from Tommy Boy.
Sounds like a Tommy Boy reference.
If you want me to take a dump in a box and mark it guaranteed, I'll do it. I got all day. Thank you, Sharon, for checking in, and have a great week. And we'll talk to you soon. Now, and that's my fitness. Trying to get off the commercial music, but having a heck of a time finding music that doesn't suck. Have tried several services. Any suggestions? The best I've used, and I've used a lot in terms of cost versus quality. Epidemic Sound has been the best one that I've found. They've got music that sounds like actual real music, as opposed to just generic beats that were created on GarageBand.
Epidemic Sound.
Epidemic Sound.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the best one I've seen. I've used
free. What's costs?
That one there's a cost. It's like maybe $200, $250 a year. But considering you're posting 1 or 2 videos a week,
$4 a week,
5 or 6 songs a video,
it's $4 a week.
Yeah, it's good. To put it in context, the first DVD I ever did, I paid $11,000 for music, and it was horrible. So we've come a long way.
Did you pay the band directly to do it?
Oh, and then they tried to flag me when I put this video on YouTube. Wow. It's like, no, I own that music for that price.
Wow.
Val's got to go. Take my daughter to school. 7:49 here. All right, Val, have a great day. Oh, by the way, guys, for any of you guys that participated in last week's thing, I am doing that draw today. All the names are in this box, so stick around. We'll be doing that draw today. Remind me to do that.
Should we have a time that we're going to do so we can let people know?
Nope, I'm going to make them stay for the whole show so that I just randomly pull it out.
Okay.
If you're not here when we do the draw, I'll reach out to the person. Once you start reaching out to brands for sponsorships, is there like a certain amount of subscribers views as recommended? No, you can do it right now. I have different email templates on Buy Me a Coffee that you can download if you're looking for how to structure an email to somebody. And you're a perfect example, KJ. Guess I'm saying.
I do. I'll let you finish though.
Your content is very good quality, KJ. You fit the demo of what a lot of these companies look for, and while they may not be enticed by the amount of subscribers you have,
it won't matter.
They can be enticed by the quality of your content because you're saving them several $1,000s a month. These companies cannot. You've got guys like Gary Vee telling brands to post 100 pieces of content a day. Brands, I don't care what the brand is. I've worked for billion-dollar brands that cannot afford to create content so they can post 100 pieces of content a day. That's where people like you come in. To be able to reach out to these companies. I'm very big on creating a media kit and just coming at them with such a polished professional pitch that they're crazy not to deal with you. Now, with that said, you're going to have, I've told you, 250 companies I reached out to got me 3 sponsorships. So while the percentage is low, the return on that investment of time was excellent. But yeah, no, you can start right now. And if you have questions about it, just reach out to me.
One of the things I want to touch upon with that is when I watched your video for Symposium, the one you just for
Symposium,
you made some really good points about sponsorship where you really need to understand the problem that you're solving for them. Right. So like Regan was saying, and your media kits are fantastic because when you understand the psychology, the problem that they're solving, the avatar, you go in there saying, hey, let me help you. Mm-hmm. Not, hey, do you want to give me some money? Hey, do you want to give me this? And I'll do this. Yeah. It's really you're going in there saying, hey, I really understand your company. I've done my homework. And here's what I would love to do as a joint venture where you benefit, I benefit, and we're all benefiting from this.
Yep.
Coming from this background as well, back when I had the clubs and stuff like that. It's a Shawshank Redemption approach. Like you're literally pitching. It's like fishing. Like every cast, you're not going to catch a fish.
Right.
And be persistent with this, because not only I look at this as all those no's are probably a good opportunity for something I didn't really need in the first place, or a headache that I can avoid. And you're really looking for the people that you believe in.
Yeah.
And when you're looking for sponsorships, don't sell out.
Right.
Like that's one thing I got from the thing. Like really look for partnerships and brands and other, like the ones that you really connect with, that you can authentically sell to your clients.
Yeah.
And that you can authentically stand behind, so they don't see you jumping from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity all the time.
Right. No, it's got anybody that you see guys, even the ones that are doing big things like Sarah's Day and stuff like that, when they talk about something, it's something they have literally that they have incorporated into their life. It's not, they don't just focus on anything. And the good thing is that for as much money as you can potentially make off brand sponsorships, what you'll always hear from me is that it's not going to be even close to your number one source of income. So it's you can afford to do it the right way and create a proper media kit and do a proper presentation and find the right people to speak with. You don't approach people on social media, because guess who you're getting? Some stupid social media coordinator who's already overworked, and they're not going to send you to the right person. Yeah. Anytime I've got a lead on a company that's looking for ambassadors, I usually post it on Buy Me a Coffee. It's there, and you guys can look into it and stuff. Some products are good, some products are fair, but it's different stuff that's there. But yeah, it's you can be starting right now. Absolutely. See you, Val. Kirsten, Epidemic Sound is best. It is really good. Charlie Brisbourne, garage gym based workouts, natural bodybuilding for men. Niche enough? Garage gym based workouts. Yeah, that's pretty good. You don't see a lot of stuff like that. I mean, buff dudes made it. I know exactly how much money buff dudes have made because I paid some of it to them. And they work out of their basement, or they were working a lot of stuff out of their basement with a homemade squat rack that their father made. So, yeah, and those guys did pretty good on brand sponsorships, if I recall. So, yeah, no, I think that's good, Charlie. I also think, too, your timing is actually pretty good on that, because there's a lot of guys with COVID that have morphed into home gyms, but some of them aren't going back to the commercial gyms right now. So giving them lots of different content ideas and things they can do with just a squat rack or just dumbbells or whatever, it's pretty good. I've been thinking about that. What problem do I solve?
Oh, I love this one.
Do you want to jump in? Go for it.
I mean, this is really about understanding your niche and your avatar.
Yep.
And we talked about this kind of on the last time I was here. Is the phrase that I have is you need to understand your avatar enough that you start crying for them. Meaning, like, you know their pain points, you know what they do when they wake up in the morning, you know how many kids they have, don't have, first thing they do in the morning, first struggle they have, first frustration, what time they're going on YouTube, what they're looking for, how they're fitting into their day, and how you're part of that problem. If you're just like, hey, here's 10 minutes without even wondering who this is for, what problem that you're solving, the vocabulary doesn't come out.
Yep.
And this is a lot, when we dive deeper into more of the psychology, the avatar, this is where I find a lot of people putting stuff out for them, not for the person that are watching them.
Yeah.
And this, personally, you should be solving at least 4 problems. So whether it's time, accountability, reassurance they're doing the right thing, they don't know what to do, it could be knowledge, but someone's coming to your channel because they can't figure it out, or they just need someone to tell them what to do, or they need a timer, or they need this, or this.
Yep.
Maybe they want sound, no sound, right? Yep. Maybe they want something efficient for the first thing in the morning. Maybe they want something for when they get home. Maybe these are things you need to truly understand so you can put someone along that journey. Yep. If your journey's too all over the place, they're not going to stick around.
Yeah. And I've said before, like with my own personal channel, because a lot of the things that I talk about, I draw from my own experiences. My channel, to many, is all over the place. There's sandbag, there's kettlebell, there's dumbbell, there's different instructors. Like, it's a variety show, which I'm here, I'm talking about niching down, but that's because my niche ends up being a technical thing where there's no music and there's no talking instructors. So that's worked for me because there's not a lot of people doing that. And that's what I've said many times in the past, that for every couple of comments I get that this is the greatest channel ever, I hate blabbermouth instructors and stuff, I get people that there's no music, this sucks. So you're going to get, and I love that, because I would rather be loved by half my audience and hated by the other half than everyone just kind of likes it. Because the ones that just kind of like it, they may not subscribe. Right. The ones that love it, they are subscribing. And so that's the thing. So I can afford to do, and I still kind of niche a bit. Like sandbag has become something that's growing on my channel because there's not a lot of follow along sandbag workouts on YouTube. So great, that works for me. And I know this beyond even what I'm doing, because I have people that I've worked with who have created sandbag workouts, and their channels don't have a lot of content on it at all, but their sandbag workouts have 500, 600, 700 views on a channel that they haven't pushed content on in a year or two. So that was a niche that I'm tapping into. There's a huge audience for the kettlebell workouts that I do on my channel. So you just got to find that. So I don't have to focus too much on that I'm just 20-minute kettlebell workouts or anything like that, because I've got other stuff that makes me unique. So it's really a matter of finding out what's unique about you, what's unique about your workouts, and that's what kind of locks them down. Where am I at? NM person. Hey, NM personal training. Good morning. My avatar is big. Women 20. On this. You have not dived. It's not an avatar.
It's not an avatar.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's not just defined by one thing. So the avatar is all the problems that you solve, not just in age, 25 to 65, who have what problems in common.
Yeah.
Now you can have, is it possible to have an avatar of, is big women age 25 to 65. So it's big women from this age. But the problem.
No. You're reading that wrong. My avatar is big.
My apologies.
Big women.
Well, it could have been overweight women. It's a fit. Come on. Listen, Jimmy the Mouth of the Salad says sorry. So women age 25 to 65. Now, here's the thing. My avatar is rock climbers.
Okay.
Beginner rock climbers, advanced rock climbers, someone who's never been before. Mm-hmm. Try putting a group of rock climbers from beginner to advanced all on the same mountain.
Yep.
You're not going to be successful. And you can't sell. Jimmy the Mouth is not happy. You deal with Jimmy right now. So this is where you need to, Dave Tate, Westside Fitness, said this the best. Your avatar needs to be a mile deep, not a mile wide.
Right.
Very, very narrow amount of people, but you're so deep in the problem that you solve that you specialize in that. Mm-hmm. Not anyone, because I guarantee a lot of 65-year-olds don't want the same programming as a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
That's just the reality. Maybe that's where things are getting a little washed out.
I think the way to look at it too, Kirsten, is as your channel's starting to grow, and it's funny because there's elements of Kirsten's channel that I don't fully understand. That's like she has a growing audience. I'm not sure what's bringing them in and what's keeping them in and all that, but it is working. But it really comes down to the end game. Like I've said to people before that, if you have 1,000 subscribers and you can convert 2% into online one-on-one training clients, you're making $4,000 a month. And that's a fact. So it doesn't take thousands and millions of subscribers to make a business out of this. But what it does take is knowing how to layer what you're doing. And that does come to niching down. If your workouts are all over the place, your audience will be all over the place, which is hard to pull that community in. Like it would be hard for me to have a gamer as a member of a Fitness Marketing Hub, like my members program, because that's just different than what I do. And it would be hard for me to convince them that I'm the person to help them when there's people that specialize in gaming channels that can help them. So it's the same thing with this. There has to be a serious emotional connection and a level of rapport for you to convert that person to a one-on-one client. Not to say we all want to do this, but I will say that having these one-on-one clients is not that difficult. It's not that much work, and it's a severely good income. 1,500 subscribers, 2% conversion, 6,000. And this is based on low numbers. This is based on a 2% conversion and a minimum of like a $200 a month payment for online training, which is not high by online training standards. And it grows quickly. Imagine at 10,000 subscribers what you'd be doing.
So a week ago, Kristen QuickFit just started. I know it's a huge. She's doing great at the challenges. So day 1, day 2, day 3. They're very quick, 4-minute workouts. So the avatar really is to me is someone who's in a hurry looking for some quick workouts.
Yeah.
Now, is that person beginner? Are they intermediate?
Yeah.
Are they advanced? Because those things play a massive factor. If I'm looking for a 4-minute workout, but is that because I'm a busy mom or an executive or someone who just is doing other stuff, or is this my only workout? So I think just really diving deeper into that niche would be extremely effective.
I think a big part of Kirsten's offering is personality. Very energetic, it's the kind of person like me. I get up in the morning, I'm in a bad mood from the start. If I had to do an online workout, I'd probably want to do Kirsten's because she's infectiously energetic and happy. And it rubs off on you. So I do actually think that's part of what keeps people on your channel, Kirsten, is you, which is good. So yeah.
The page looks really nice.
What happens when you're a client of mine? Page looks nice. Do you film a 30-day workout and post all at once, or do you film as you go? Are you talking to Kirsten, Elaine? If so, I'll let Kirsten answer that. I don't think I've made 30 workouts in the last 3 years. I think that's what that is. All right. Well, we got a little break while we're doing that. Why don't we do the draw?
Yes.
So keep firing off questions, guys. Oh, are you talking to me? Do I film a 30-day workout and post? Oh, you're asking just in general. I think that's up to you.
There's pros and cons of both.
Yeah.
Depending on your scheduling, it depends on batch poaching is nice. I've done many times where it's like week by week, you're doing filming or 2 weeks at a time. I get a lot of anxiety knowing I got to do the production every week. Yeah. And it is nice in terms of setup. If you have the time getting in that flow and you understand, if you know all the things you're going to do for that month, it's a lot easier to try to batch as many videos as possible. Yeah. And then kind of like edit them all, get them ready. And there's a lot of other things you can now focus on, like the editing, dripping them out, and all the other things that need to happen, rather than every week having to go start to finish all that process, the thumbnails, getting them up and editing and stuff like that.
I think it's definitely good to be a little bit ahead of yourself. Yeah. And that's even with your weekly stuff. Like I know Hit Your Goals, Kim's channel, she films all of her workouts on the weekends, I think, and then she trickles them out over the week, but she does her editing, but she has the actual production done.
I don't know a lot of successful people that don't batch everything.
Yeah.
Like whether it's emails, food, like whatever, anytime you can batch things, you're skipping so many unnecessary steps of setup. Like just get in that flow, do as many as you can and have them. And trust me, there'll be a lot less anxiety moving forward.
But see, it also depends on how you're doing your 30-day challenge. If you're doing it in such a way, like let's say part of your challenge is doing a weekly live stream, kind of a check-in with people. Yep. You want to be able to talk in real time that, my workout that I did on Wednesday, I tweaked my knee when I was doing a lower body exercise. So now I'm starting to do this. I'm dealing with this, but I started doing this to try and help. If you guys are dealing with any kind of, when you're talking in real time with them, you want to be talking in real time with them. You don't, and that even within your workouts, if you're talking about, if you do a bit of an intro in your workouts and you're talking about yesterday's workout, how's everybody feeling today and this kind of thing, like let's get started. If you're doing that, then you almost have to go on a daily basis with live workouts or whatever. But if it's something where it's literally you're giving them an executable workout and there's not a lot of personal in there, then definitely it's just fire it off and do it. That's easier for sure.
I'm not too sure if you guys knew this or not, but Regan is a mind reader. So yes, Body by Paradise. That's why he knew that your knee was tweaked.
There you go. All right. So yeah, keep adding questions if you want, guys. But in the meantime, so last week when we had James Patrick on here, he's got Fitposium coming up September 16th to 18th, which I think is next weekend. So we did do a draw with this, and everybody who participated, your names are in here, and we will do the draw, and I will let Joe do the draw of the name. This is for a free virtual pass to Fitposium. So a lot of educational speakers and things like that. So,
and the Oscar goes to KJ Fitness.
There you go.
KJ Fitness. There it is. KJ Fitness. You are the proud winner.
So KJ, I will reach out to you and I'll get you in touch with James so you can get that set up. But congratulations. And I think KJ just asked a question. Yeah.
That's right, KJ. You are the winner.
What? OMG.
Is it a good idea to upload a video as a premiere?
I think it's irrelevant. I've done both. I've never really seen either way. With fitness videos, guys, the thing is people are doing that on their own time. I guess if you know you have a core audience that's tuning in at 7 a.m. to do your workout, you can premiere it. But if they're running 30 seconds late, they're not going to do it now because you already started. I think it's not something that needs to be live like that. So my feeling is just upload it. But again, it's one of those things. I've experimented with it just because I like to see the differences in watch time, views, what happens. I've never seen any analytics from premiering a video that make it any better or worse than just posting the video. So I really haven't seen a whole lot from that. But all I can say on that
so far.
What's that?
Good day so far.
Yeah. Is that pizza? No,
it's party
hats.
Party hats. You know, something like that.
So, yeah, and just so you guys know too, anybody else who's interested in looking into Fitposium, I'm actually doing a virtual presentation there. It's fitposium.com. It's based in Arizona. They're doing a live conference, but also they've got the virtual conference. And I know there's a lot of different stuff with SEO. My whole thing is with YouTube. It's a 1-hour presentation. There's some stuff there if you want to check it out. By all means, check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. Are we all out of questions?
I believe so.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else to talk about?
I mean, there's always things to talk about. I hope everyone's had a great time today. I keep learning more and more stuff every time I'm on the show.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. Thank you. I thought she was just goofing up here, but she's really excited.
I'm glad she's excited. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah, it's good stuff, KJ. I think having access to all these on-demand courses and stuff, like it'll be worthwhile. Check it out.
I've got two private screen viewing of what you have to talk about, and it's amazing. Even if you just watch Regan's presentation, the 8 steps to maximizing your YouTube channel is fantastic. It's very clean, good approach. Very usable stuff. And I mean, that alone, there's just so many nuggets that people are going to get out of this for their YouTube page.
Something that I'm going to be working on, guys, that I'll be doing videos on and eventually, just to give you an idea, because it's, again, stuff that you guys can utilize. I'm doing my first long-form online course this fall. And it's going to basically be a very thorough, in-depth building a YouTube channel for like financial growth, like basically very similar to things that Joe and I have touched on here, but much more detailed, and how to start from scratch, building something, how to start monetizing at like 150 subscribers and go from there. And again, this is the same kind of thing that you guys can slowly start doing with your channels. If you come up with something proprietary and to be able to do some kind of a fitness course, like all of these little things have benefit, whether it's Teespring, Amazon affiliate marketing, Google AdSense, products and services, online courses, like they all start adding up after a while. And it's So hopefully it's something that will be some good information for you guys. And
I'm pumped for that.
I'll be able to do some good videos and stuff, just talking about the process of building it and all that.
Very pumped for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Love the tag team, y'all.
Are they talking about George the Animal Steel and Jimmy?
Probably.
The Mouth of the South. Of these two characters, who's who? Which one's you? Which one's me? Are you more George the Animal or Jimmy the Mouth of the South?
You used to be George the Animal, but we're almost the same size.
I know.
Now,
I used to be. Now I'm more Jimmy the Mouth, I think. Just give me the megaphone and outside the ring.
All right, guys. Well, if all your questions are done, then we won't run things too long today. But thanks as always for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you guys have questions or comments, you know how to reach out to me. If you haven't already, make sure you join. Would you shush?
The dogs. The dogs.
Join the Fitness Marketing Hub, the private Facebook group. If you ask to join, I will let you in. And always stuff going on there. It's a great spot. Something I've been really encouraging guys is post your content in the group. Get feedback from the group because we're all in this together as far as growing our channels. And it's a great spot to get some constructive feedback. Everybody's nice in there. If they're not, they're going to deal with me. But they give, they'll compliment things that are good and they'll give you advice on things that are bad. Sometimes they have experiences of maybe they see you doing something that they tried doing and it didn't work for them. But it's a great spot to get private, confidential thoughts and feelings from other people who are trying to grow channels just like you. So post your videos in there. Get feedback. I think it's great. And it's, again, I can come at it from my perspective, but I think it's great when you're dealing with people who are in the exact same spot you are as well, and getting their feedback on things.
Yeah, for sure.
Wahiba Fit, I'm not based in the USA, but my target audience is. Can that influence my entire fitness business in any way? Ideally, you want to be, you want that US market. Several reasons. Your actual CPM rates, which is the amount per 1,000 views that you get paid, is higher in the US. Like you get more money for a US following than you do for any other country. So that's beneficial to you. If your end game was trying to get people to physically train wherever you're at, like at a gym somewhere, that's not such a good thing. If your goal is online training, it makes no difference. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being big in the US or having that as your main spot. Most of the people that are on YouTube, like that's obviously the biggest population. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And it can benefit you with your CPM rates and things like that. So you're at least, once you are monetized, you're going to make maximum amount of money because advertisers will pay more to get that US audience. So that's good for you. Hello? Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Did I not answer it quite fast enough? It's like 1 minute.
I think that's where, because we signed off here, so she won't get that question before we signed off. So we're still here. We got you. We got you in just before the end. Don't worry. We got you, Wahiba Fit.
So with that, guys, if you're all good, thank you very much. Next week, I will be back next Wednesday? It's the 15th. Next Wednesday, the 15th, I'm going to be back we're going to be talking about becoming your own brand deal. And I've got a lady coming on who has actually launched and grown her own supplement company from scratch, from the comfort of home. Erin Wellness is the name of the company, and should be very interesting because she basically created her own supplement company. Perfect example of doing your own thing and not waiting for someone to sponsor you. So I think that'll be really interesting to hear her story. Again, single mom, started this from home, and she's done very well with it.
From BC?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you know she is. Yeah, so she'll be on here next Wednesday.
She's been busting ass for years, man.
Yeah.
I've been following her for like 6-7 years now.
She really understands the sales side of it and stuff. And she'll have a lot of good context. And for any of you guys that are looking at creating your own products and services, if supplements is one of those things, this is going to be a very much behind the curtain look of what it took to start a supplement company from scratch
You will not miss, like, don't miss this episode. She's an amazing woman, great story. I've seen her from the grassroots coming up. And I mean, there's going to be so many nuggets you guys can take from this that you guys should definitely be staying tuned for next week.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I see some fitness pages don't run ads on their videos. So how do they get paid?
So this goes back to how many different ways you can get monetized through YouTube and what you're using YouTube for.
Yeah, if they're removing all advertisements off YouTube, they're technically not getting paid. You can get paid for views and stuff like that, but if you're not running ads, then you're not getting paid.
Now, some of these people could be pushing their YouTube page to a website, to a service, or to something else.
Some people are not on there to get paid because, again, the amount of money you're going to make off Google AdSense is going to be minor compared to what you can make from other products, services, brand sponsorships, things like that. I make okay money from Google AdSense, but it's nothing compared to what I make from my actual business that I've built off of that channel. And that's kind of what we talk about here. It's like you hear people all the time say that you can't make money on YouTube unless you have 1 million subscribers. Those are people that want Google to pay their salary. And they're not wrong when they say that. You do need 1 million subscribers. And even that sometimes doesn't pay enough. But if you're actually building it as a business and using YouTube as the platform or the stage to build that business, it's a cog in a bigger picture thing, as opposed to just posting social media content on YouTube and expecting Google to have this windfall rain down on you, because that doesn't happen. All right, guys. So we leave it at that. Thanks again for popping in. And if you have questions, if any of you guys want to do a consultation or there's some free downloads and stuff, be sure you check out buymeacoffee.com/trainerhub. Lots of stuff on there, little marketing techniques, things like that. For anybody that is a member, the 1 hour presentation that I did for Fitposium, I'm going to be making that available for members to view privately. So I'll be sending that out to you guys this week. And if you have any other questions, reach out anytime. Take care, and we will talk to you guys very soon.
Thanks.